मेडिटेशन, ध्यान करना कितना ज़रूरी है सबके लिए. What is spirituality for you? We talk about karma. कैसे पता चलेगा it is a good karma or a bad karma? माँ, मैं ये तो आपसे नहीं पूछूंगी आप कब आए, बिकॉज सबको पता है आप कब आए, हाउ यू हैव स्टार्टेड योर जर्नी. लेकिन अभी का जो वक्त है, मेडिटेशन, ध्यान करना कितना ज़रूरी है सबके लिए.
Meditation ध्यान से, there is a kind of a tranquility and serenity that comes in your being, a non-oscillating, witnessing bhav that comes in your being, and that helps you to respond to everything in the right way. Because day-to-day affairs there is so much of confusion and there's so much of vagaries that are there around. And if a person is not in a one-pointed understanding of what is happening, then his responses are often full of faults. And that creates not only confusion for himself but also deeper karmas that he has to face the consequences of his unaware behavior again and again. So meditation helps you to come into right awareness and a right frame of mind where there is a non-oscillating knowing of things. You're tapping into deeper intelligence and you're tapping into a deeper wisdom to respond exactly how you should be responding.
Right. मैं ये जानना चाहूँगी, कहते हैं कि we always need a guru in our lifetime. So how we can choose a guru? What is the criteria or how it will come to us?
Normally the Guru Tattva chooses you.
Right.
The Guru chooses you. So you will come across someone who really feels drawn to you and who really knows that this is the person I have to take responsibility of. There is a compulsion in the Guru's heart to take a seeker, a true seeker. And this is something which nature does. तो प्रकृति डिसाइड करती है, तो हम अपने आप ही आकर्षित होते हैं उस स्टूडेंट से और हमें मन करता है कि we overflow and give him all that we can.
Right. What is spirituality for you?
Spirituality is living in God consciousness and nature consciousness all the time, in the sense understanding that the ego which is functioning is a false I, and the Devi or the God that is functioning in you all the time is the real I. And so when you understand that not any function in your body is happening with your eye, I mean, I can't blink my eyes, I can't make my heart beat, I can't make my liver function, I can't make my kidney function. The process of digestion is also so beautifully monitored and carried on by the unseen force of God, that is energy inside us. So our conscious control and our conscious knowing of the I is a false notion. Whereas the unseen factor, which is the divine factor, is working all the time in our body. To understand this, to recognize this, to acknowledge this, and to be with this system is spirituality to me.
Nowadays, we always say we have to be conscious. So what is consciousness? Because there are many people who seek answers in different places. So what is consciousness?
To be conscious means to be aware. To be aware of everything that I am doing. If I'm talking to you, there is another me inside me which is watching what I'm talking to you. Awareness helps you to be in stillness and helps you to tap into deeper wisdom. That's why जब हम बोलते हैं कि हमको conscious होना चाहिए का मतलब there should be a watchful me who is watching every activity of mine, every reaction of mine, every emotion of mine. The more conscious you become, the more you're in alignment with your spirit. That is why they say be more conscious.
We talk about karma. So how we can cultivate good karma, or कहते हैं कि ये कर्मा किया है तो ये रिजल्ट मिला है, तो how we can do this? कैसे पता चलेगा it is a good karma or a bad karma? Because we learn from everything.
Yeah, anything and everything which is in harmony with your environment and is in harmony with your inner conscience and your mind. Everything and anything that creates peace and love and harmonizes with the situation is a good karma. Anything that solaces other person, anything that solaces yourself in your heart is a good karma. Intention creates karma before the action creates karma. So if your intentions are positive all the time, the karma that you create will always be positive.
Wow. Validation. People seek for validation in different ways. How important it is, or it is not at all important?
Validation is important to the point that you are ignorant. When you start reading and do the study of yourself, if you regularly meditate and you regularly do your swadhyay, adhyan of yourself and the true self, and you do the Sevan of Jnana Yoga regularly, then validation is not required. Validation is required because there is a Jnanata and you don't know what is right and what is wrong. If Jnana Yoga Sevan is done every day, if you're doing your study every day, then there is a yogi inside you, a Jnani inside you, a spirit inside you which will validate, and you won't need outside validation.
We generally people say we do meditation, but after some time क्या होता है, we cannot do meditation. हम ध्यान नहीं लगा सकते, ध्यान लगता नहीं है. So इसको कैसे overcome करें?
Regular practice, it's abhyas. It's abhyas entu kaunteya vairagyencha guhate. It's abhyas. That means the very act of sitting down every day without expectations. It's a abhyas and vairagya ke acharan mein. That means there should be dispassionate pursuance of sitting down every day as a practice without expecting anything. At a point, the mind understands that she is not going to listen and I have to sleep. And then the truth starts revealing itself, and the truth starts showing itself, and meditation starts happening. It's a happening process, it's not a doing process. So there you can't do meditation. Meditation has to happen. For that, your eye has to sleep, and your body has to, and your cells and your muscles and your bones and all the wisdom in your body has to come in deep surrender. And that's why just sitting is a abhyas that you have to promise yourself and wait for the right things to happen, for the right meditation to happen someday.
Right. Ma, we see a lot of negativity in different relationships, nowadays, in every relationship, not only with someone you love or marry. So how we can take care of our relationship? What is the mantra?
There isn't one mantra. It's a process of awareness, of functioning, working, functioning, speaking in the light of wisdom, awareness, and knowledge, and dharma. So not only as a good human being, there should be a constant effort to improve yourself as a good human being, but also understanding the parameters of dharmic living. Especially when you live in a society, you have to go by the norms of the society. When you live in a family, you go by the norms of the family, etc. So what is right and what is not right should be viewed from in the light of wisdom, knowledge, and dharma. Then relationships are not at threat. Relationships come at threat when we have self-centered thinking, where we are looking into the light but not into the dharma. And this is also an equation of mutuality. It is not a one-sided equation. You cannot ask one person to be dharmically oriented and working in the wisdom of light, and the other person is completely in ignorance. Then it becomes a lopsided relationship, and that doesn't work. So when we talk about relationships of couples, or between parents and children, or between friends, each one has a responsibility to understand how to function in the wisdom of light and in the wisdom of dharma.
Wow. Being a parent, nowadays we have seen that a lot of calculations have changed, a lot of meaning have changed being a parent or for their children. How a parents can raise their children in this point in time?
Nature is bringing up children more than the parents. So parents are dispensed with ideas and facilities and wisdom to bring up the children, because no parent is an experienced parent. By the time he experiences the child to his adulthood, he doesn't get a newborn child again. Therefore, often grandparents want to parent their grandchildren, because they have experienced the growing children and they feel confident to bring up the small child now. However, there also everything falters, because it's not a yardstick. You raise up one child, and another child is completely a different challenge. So because there is no yardstick to bring up children, one has to learn the art of surrender and seeking from nature. Nature is bringing up children, and bringing new kinds of children that were never there. We have children now that are thinking in the way no other children ever thought. So their minds are progressing, the intellect is progressing, and it's a constant endeavor to know how to raise them up in the right way. A little bit of bhakti, a little bit of surrender, and a little bit of patience and tolerance, minus all the fear and the worry and the anxiety, will help you align with nature, and nature will teach you how to bring them up.
Wow, that's very beautiful. And Now it's a time of internet. We access through many content at a very small span of time. Our brain doesn't get rest, you know. हर तरह की चीजें our brain is actually experiencing. So how a person can deal with it?
Yeah. Deal with the internet invasion?
Yes.
Yeah. Dealing with the internet invasion, again, this is something very naturally happening. All the information technology and all the inventions which are coming, gadgets coming and facilities coming, these are all being downloaded from the ether. Ether is constantly downloading new ideas and new creations and new inventions are happening. This is we say they are man-made, but they're not man-made, they're nature-made. Every other invention is nature-made. And so nature which produces some new inventions will teach you how to cope up with it. Transition is the nature of nature. Transitory nature is the nature of nature, and everything get outdated and everything new comes every now and then. So when something becomes to a level of abusive nature itself eradicates it and something else takes its place.
Right.
So more than worrying, we need to bring everything in moderation. Consciously coming into moderation, be it the usage of gadgets or facilities, or be it discarding the. Everything should be done in moderation. You should not take everything to an extreme. Extreme abuse is bad, and extreme not utilizing is bad. When you're in moderation, then you're utilizing things which nature is offering you in the right order, in the right proportion, and not taking it to the abuse. So moderation is the key word. Middle path is the key word. Not to reject and not to abuse. Yeah.
And ma'am, what is the message for the youth who is watching you right now?
The youth, I feel, at one point I'm in absolute admiration of the youth because they are so large-hearted and they're so open, they're so unconditioned, and they're so open to all cultures of the world, and they are not barricaded in old systems. However, insecurity and unanchored living is something that many of them are, victims of. So, at large, I feel they are a beautiful lot and they are a promising lot that we have hope on for this world. And on the other hand, it's scary to see the misguided and the unanchored people who are into the darkness of consumerism or into addictions and things like that. So, anchoring into nature and anchoring into God, which is self defined, is very important for the youth. They need to find their own definition of God. They need to understand what God truly is. Their exploration, inquiry, and search for who really God is would help them to anchor into a power much larger than the tangible. And that would be very hopeful and very positive for everyone, for the masses.
Wow. And lastly, how to attain peace, because that's what's the purpose of life.
Yes. Contentment needs to be consciously brought in life. Ambition is all right, goal orientation is all right. There should be promising fire burning in you. However, to resolve every day at the end of the day and bring conscious contentment in the mind, a list of gratitude, a list of thankfulness, and being very, very grateful for all that is there, consciously bringing into mind all that is there, will bring some level of contentment to the heart. And that would invoke peace. Peace is absence of acceptance. When there is no acceptance, when there is no alignment with what is, then there is no peace. Peace is not a commodity that one can buy at any stage of your life, whether you're poor or you're at the middle level, or you're at a richer level, or you are single or you're dual or you're multiple. Peace cannot be bought. Peace is a state of mind that one has to resolve and come into very consciously each day. You have to choose peace.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, and God bless you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Ma.